Uh-oh. I went the wrong way. Welcome to Bratislava. Now we're starting off our trip today in front of the castle. It's windy, so I'm gonna hold my hat on. Now Bratislava is located right on the Danube River, which we can see before us. Boom, boom. As you can tell, the castle's been rebuilt. It's pretty modern, but it hasn't always been this modern. There's Neolithic settlements that have been found in this exact area. There's Roman walls, there's stuff from the Ottoman Empire, from so many different empires. This archway is from the 16th century. So this would have been the opening back then. So they've just built on top of the castle. See, whenever people were capturing Bratislava, they wanted to build their own castle, or they wanted to just renovate it with the newest and latest art fads. So let's go explore Bratislava and see what's here. So one thing that I think is super cool about Bratislava is that whenever the Austro-Hungarian Empire was a thing, Bratislava was the place where the royalty was crowned. So there was a bunch of different Hungarian kings and queens that were crowned here on this spot, maybe in there, not entirely sure. The castle's closed today and we are not going in because I do not have a pointy sword like this man. So yeah, let's go continue and walk around in the castle gardens and see what other tidbits of history we can find. Okay, one thing I'll point you to is that the walls here were really thick. Now this is just like a tiny piece of part of the wall. The wall for this castle would have been like 7 meters thick. So this entire thickness, this castle was nearly impenetrable. In fact, whenever the Ottomans tried to take it over, it was really hard for them and the Ottomans failed multiple times. So thick walls keep baddies out, I guess? Who knew? You guys, look at this. This is so different. I had no idea what to expect. I've been trying to come to Bratislava for many years, and sometimes logistics and stuff just take a while to figure out. This looks like a mini Madrid. This is so nice. In the sun, it's really hot, and down here in the shade, definitely tell a difference in how hot it is. I forgot to tell you something. So the Celtics were the first ones that were settling here before the Romans kicked them out. The Romans just kind of took over Celtic reign. Here though, we see proof of it, the Celtic past. Maybe there's some sort of a scavenger hunt around here to find where the Celtics lived and where they were. Let's go explore. So this is a statue of Saint Elizabeth of Hungary. And she was a big deal in the medieval times, so 1200s. So she was married to a dude, and then after the dude died, she took a vow of chastity. And there's a little bit more cool lore about her. Down in this city, she has a church. So I think that we're just gonna jump cut, and I'm gonna show you the church of Saint Elizabeth. It's one of the most iconic buildings I think that we have here in Bratislava. So let's go look at the church that was named after this medieval woman. Oh. You guys, what? It's a little bit Mad Hatter meets Illuminati. A secret society do exist. The Illuminati. So this is the Church of Saint Elizabeth. Same saint that we just saw the statue of right here. Now after her husband died, to remind you, she gave her life to chastity. And because there was such a big staying of Illuminati here, we see the all-seeing eye up here, and we have some other symbols, magic symbols, voodoo people. I mean, just the detail on this. Look, they have it looks clear here, but you come from a different angle and it looks mirrorish. I a religion where I worship a blue god. How do I sign up for that one? And a Mad Hatter clock. And some Illuminati. Hola. Now, Slovakia is a pretty small country, and it's kind of been unfortunate that it hasn't been until the last couple of decades where it's been its own country and actually like not pushed around and bullied by other countries. In the late 1900s, whenever Slovakia, got her own country back, whenever the Iron Curtain was falling, and then shortly after the Iron Curtain fell, the nation known as Czechoslovakia split up into two different districts, Czechia, and then we have Slovakia. Now this whole area that we're in used to be surrounded by walls, like it still is, but the walls are a little bit shorter. So this is like literally the fortress, the Kashba of Bratislava. Look how pretty and quiet these little streets are. You can probably tell we're on a hill. So the Bratislava Castle is about 100 meters above the Danube. So now we have to walk down 100 meters in order to get to the town. But the reason the castle was there was because it was always able to be elevated. You could see what was around you and you could defend your part. That's one of the reasons why the Ottomans wanted it. Also because they were greedy and kind of rude, Okay, see here we can see what I was telling you, with these massively thick walls that just surrounded the city, which is pretty. Okay, so future me talking about the church. Church is very pretty, church is very peaceful. It's so cool how close Austria and Slovakia are, yet here we have the pure Slovakian church and like the church experience, but just like the art. I also found it really cool that the catacombs, you could just like see straight down into it. So I've decided that we're gonna walk straight down the medieval walls. Medieval walls, dun dun. Mostly because I wanted to show you guys these signs. So these signs are pictures of the 6 royals that were crowned here in Slovakia. And there's more. These were the Hungarian leaders whenever Slovakia was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So all of these people, this dude with the most magical hair. Epic. And then these are some of the, they're the kings and the queens. So both they're partners in crime. How cool. Bunk, 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 bunk. Medieval wall. Check this out. We can see some of the old fortress here. Probably in the corner, there would have been like a stairwell going up or some sort of a heating system. And again, look how thick those walls were. Nothing was getting in or out. Okay, I'll admit it's a little early, not a whole lot early right now, but after being in Oslo and Salzburg and Vienna and all of those other cities, it's so nice to have a quiet city and quiet streets. Okay, check out what's in front of us. So we have this huge tower. So it's from the 13th. It's from the 1300s. I'm gonna go see if we can go up in it. I really like this contrast we have between the yellow streets and the red roofs and these orange doors. And there's a lot of blue in the city. They do a really good job distributing the color. Look at this. That's cool. I love it. So I just crossed the street. We have a beautiful other cathedral. And the facade, you can tell the facade's a little bit in need of restoration. But I like that it's like that, where you can just see how time ages. How time ages even the most beautiful of things. Okay, let's go inside and see what's in here. Okay, that was really pretty. Now look at this, we can see like an old shield. Ah, there we go. We can see an old shield way up here that still has a little bit of color left on it. This is a really pretty, fancy, modern entrance for a hotel. Which brings me to the fact that I should give you another fact about Bratislava. So every year, just a little bit under 1 million tourists visit Bratislava. And on average, they stay between 1 and 2 nights. Now, there are a lot of day trips that come in here. There's cruises where you can just float on the Danube River. There's day trips coming in from Budapest, from Vienna, from Prague, from all over this area to see this beautiful city that, like, I'm trying to compare it to a city that we've seen before, and I can't. Like, it's so unlike anything. Like, everything is short for one. Everything is small and cute, yet there's like, you can tell it's a huge fortress. And then you have these statues in the middle of just like, I don't know, normal, where you would not expect a statue to be. You would expect that to be in a museum, not in this park. And we have this other beautiful statue over here. I love this elongated style. Well done, Slovakia. And since I've been complaining about not having water, Slovakia believes in having water for citizens and travelers of the city. So thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yay. Oh man, this city has won so many points today already. This is great. Okay, there's something else I really like about cities in Europe that get hot, is that you have water gates. Watergate. I'm a little bit short for it though. This is why we travel, to see stuff like this. Wow. What do we do with very pretty pink buildings? Enter them. The light. I don't know if the camera's picking up how soft the light is. It's so yellow and soft and beautiful. It's like an old, massive state house almost. I think we see a clock tower that we haven't seen yet. Yeah? Clock tower? I feel like we're in Embassy. That's what we're in. We're in Embassy Square. So we have a Japan embassy, we have a Greece embassy. There's probably diplomats that live in all of these buildings up here. I mean, not probably. It's kind of what Embassy Square is all about. We have a cute little fountain with water fresh from the Danube. How do we know? Because it's blue or green. Look at these windows in front of us though. We have like red and blue and white, little checker patterns on the windows. I found a museum. Look at all these beautiful things. And we have the Illuminati. And we have a bunch of Pope art. So this was originally built, this whole building was built as a passageway. And then it was used as a town hall. But just look at that. So now we're entering the old town hall. And I think we should go up these stairs. This is the office of the old city archivist. So he was born in 1896, died in 1972, and he knew Latin, German, Hungarian, obviously Slovakian. He documented everything that was happening in this town. And how epic would it have been, you know, to exist with the whole change of Europe that happened in the early 1900s. Crazy, crazy. This is an old town hall room, decorated in the 1400s. How cool would it be to have your room in here and then to have a wardrobe that looks like this with a secret door? We see original paintings still left from medieval times. And up there, we probably see a story of something that went on in the Bible. Over here, a nice little chapel that we have. Whoa. What's on this wall over here is really pretty. And over here, we see a very light painting of the crucifixion. These are my favorite. Look at that seal. Do I have to be a king to get a seal like that? I'd make a great Hungarian noble if I could wear that. We have a whole case of engineering. So the mayor was in charge of keeping the prisoners alive, which is kind of interesting. I don't think you can see me, and that's okay. Oh look, we can go into this one. Very cool. So yeah, maybe you would stick prisoner if he was really bad, because like I see a chain. I mean, it's not the most welcoming of places, if you ask me. So it'd make a good prison. Since the 1600s, this entire building has operated as the town hall for Bratislava. Now, there was plans to expand it and to make it bigger. And some of those plans worked, some of them didn't. But this whole area here, like especially down here, this has also been regarded as the center of Bratislava since the 1600s. Take a look at it. Like you would have markets down here, you'd have kids playing, you'd have people. You'd probably have tourists also coming here and experiencing all of the stuff down there. You can see the castle from here, the church. Everything can be seen from here, and it's pretty epic. How cool would it be to like run a city from here? Just like, I'm the mayor. The mayor just looked up and the mayor just saw something. Look, guys. We have a gold ball that you're gonna go see, and I will see you in the edit. Boom. Look at that gold ball. Is it cool? Now I like all of these metal things, like they're hand-done stuff from a blacksmith. There's no fancy machinery in that. Like that's just bink, 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 bink. Shh. Blacksmith. Oh, there's the pink building we were in with all the people on the top. Okay, now I found shade. And while there's only a little bit of shade, oh my God, it's so nice. So there's a bunch of restaurants in the city center. If you come to Bratislava, don't eat lunch there unless you really want a good tan. Come out to one of these restaurants where you're in the shade, you have the beautiful sound of the fountains by you. Yes, city center is cool, but like this literally is cooler. Oh look, we have a giant statue that we should go and investigate. I like that he's studying the fountain. Maybe he's drawing it, thinking, pondering about what his next super fancy idea, thought, premonition, philosophy is going to be. This is beautiful. So we have the opera house right here, and then right next to it we have the theater. And during the times, the classical times, Mozart, Haydn, Beethoven, they all came here and they performed and they played. So they would play their operas in this beautiful opera house. They had residents in the city. So they would just come in, they would move in the city. They would live here whenever their opera was playing in this beautiful opera house. Or maybe it was just a symphony, you know, they would just do symphony over there in that house. Okay, so it was too hot in the city center, and I haven't been able to find a grocery store yet because I haven't been fully like dedicated to searching for it. Mostly because I keep getting distracted from cool architecture like that. What is that? It's so different and pretty. And like the arches that are just decorated all the way around. Oh, I see a sick green thing that we should go up there and see. Okay, let's go look at this green thing. Oh, I found a shade. Oh, this is cool. We have a sign here recognizing the Velvet Revolution. So that was like it was a non-violent revolution. So I guess I should finish telling you a little bit of the lore of this part of Europe. So in World War II, this whole area was occupied by the Nazis. Now it was the Soviets that came in and that rescued Slovakia from the Nazis. So around the town, we do have a memorial to the Soviet soldiers who died while they were evicting the Nazis. That said, after the Soviets rescued them, they kind of stayed. They forgot to leave, and they did that all around Europe. With that, they also gave everybody their handbook of communism. And it wasn't always accepted. Like, while there were some good government practices with it, it just wasn't economically viable for it all to work. There wasn't enough food, there wasn't enough money, there wasn't enough government to provide for everybody, and it wasn't great. From about the end of World War II, 1940s, to the 1989, there was a lot of protests and revolutions on all of these countries that were occupied by the overstaying Soviets. How do we get our countries back? The Velvet Revolution is what freed a lot of this area. So we've changed scenery. Hey, look what we found. A pointy. I think we should go learn a little bit more about it. Now this pointy is really cool, and I'm excited we got to see it on such a beautiful day. Wow. So what this is the memorial to all of the Soviet soldiers who died while trying to free Bratislava from the Nazis during World War II. Right now Russia's not doing some great stuff, but one thing I think that's really overlooked is that in World War II, almost 30 million Russians lost their life. About 20 million, due to starvation, and then 9 million in war. That's a huge amount that we just kind of forget. And I think we have to remember that, those people fought bravely, and really one of the predominant reasons on why Europe is not ruled by Nazis right now. So, thanks guys. So in this big mass grave here, there's thousands of bodies just buried. I think it's kind of cool that, you find monuments like this throughout Eastern Europe every now and again. And I think it's cool that the countries still keep these monuments, still remember who helped to free them, who helped in the corruption that we had here, and ultimately just respect human life. Now, throughout this monument, there's about 7,000 people that are permanently resting here, and I'm sure that their families would have wanted them to be at permanent rest back in the Soviet Union. But I don't know if at the time that was even possible, because there was huge famine and people were starving out in the Soviet Union. So, while they're not back home, we have a bunch of people that have families in a different country. hanging out here. And these guys are young, like 32, 33. It's really surreal. Like this is, it's like some of the people here, we don't know when they were born. Let's go through this little tunnel thingy. Wow. So on this wall here, we have the name of all of the soldiers that are buried here. And then on these charts as well, there's the names of around 100 people, 100 civilians who also died as well. We have all of these tablets here, and then on this side, we have equal amount of tablets. I don't think the video is capturing like how massive that is. It's both cool, but then also engineering. And that's our tour today of Bratislava. I hope you liked it. I sure did, but it's about 17 billion degrees. And as you can see, I have my picnic blanket out here. So I'm gonna go take a little 17 billion degree picnic nap. And I'll catch you next time. Like, subscribe, ciao.